10 Best Things to Do in Quebec City, Canada. Founded in 1608, Quebec City has a rich history and heritage for you to delve into, with century-old buildings, churches, and fortifications wherever you look. As well as attractive and impressive architecture, the city is also set in a stunning spot overlooking the St. Lawrence River. La Promenade de Gouverneur. A very popular place to stroll around is La Promenade de Gouverneur, which stretches around a mile in length. Starting near both Château Frontenac and Terrasse du Ferron, the elevated boardwalk meanders past fantastic viewpoints and interesting historic landmarks, before ending up at Battlefields Park. On one side, you have the fortifications of the old citadel, with phenomenal views out over Lower Quebec, and the waters of the St. Lawrence River on the other side. Mohense Centre. Situated in the heart of old Quebec is the Mohense Centre, which offers a fascinating insight into the history of the city. Formerly a prison, it now hosts an English language library and learning center, and it was also designated a National Historic Site in 1981. Within the stone building, you can find a marvelous Victorian-era library, with ancient tomes and rare books lining its shelves, from floor to ceiling. Visitors can take tours around the facility and see elegant halls alongside gloomy jail cells. Battlefields Park. Lying just a short stroll to the west of the center is the sprawling Battlefields Park. Popular with both locals and tourists, the park is named because of its site of the 1759 Battle of the Plains of Abraham, when the British beat the French and so influenced the creation of Canada. Due to its strategic setting on the banks of the St. Lawrence River and its important military pass, Battlefields Park is full with historical artillery pieces, as well as 4 Martello Towers. It also has lots of green spaces, picnic areas, and playing fields for people to make use of. Musée de la Civilisation. Offering an interesting look into the cultures and communities of Quebec, the Musée de la Civilisation can be found not far from Place Royale, overlooking the St. Lawrence River. Its extensive galleries house collections of artworks, artifacts, and archaeological findings that shine a light on the history of the area. Since its opening in 1988, the museum has been a firm favorite with local and tourists, thanks to its interactive exhibitions and innovative architecture, as well as having fascinating sections on the past, present, and future of the province's indigenous people. It also hosts special exhibitions and cultural events. Le Citadel. Covering a huge part of the center of the city is a colossal citadel, which was built over decades by the French and then British. Known as La Citadelle in French, it was built to protect Quebec from a potential American attack. The star-shaped fort has lovely green spaces and sturdy fortifications for you to explore, as well as a great on-site museum. Due to its strategic location, Cap Diamond has been the site of several forts over the centuries, with the current citadel dating to 1850. Besides exploring the National Historic Site and learning about its history, visitors can also watch its daily changing of the guard ceremony. Place Royale. While it may look like just another pretty plaza, Place Royale was the first site in the city to be settled by Samuel de Champlain back in 1608. Along the center of life and commerce in Quebec, it is well worth visiting for its historic importance, architecture, and charming ambience. In the small Coblet Square are lots of beautiful antique buildings, which now house cafes and boutiques. At the birthplace of the French colony, you also find the Notre Dame de Victoire Church, which dates to the 1700s and is one of the oldest churches in all North America. Mount Mohense Falls Park. Just a 15-minute drive to the town's northeast is one of the area's most outstanding natural sights, the majestic Mount Mohense Falls. In a scenic park of the same name, there are waterfall towers to a huge 275 feet. Its white wall of water certainly makes for some fabulous photos. The park itself is also well worth exploring. Besides a suspension bridge and cable car that offers up commanding views over the falls, it also has some terrific hiking trails, playgrounds, and even zip lines for visitors to enjoy. Cathedral Basilica of Notre Dame de Quebec. As the oldest church in Canada, this has stood in the same spot since 1647. Although it has been burned down and destroyed numerous times throughout its long history, the basilica has always bounced back, bigger and better than before. Located in the heart of Old Quebec, The current cathedral exhibits a somewhat austere exterior, with its hulking facade, topped by two asymmetrical towers. Inside, the building is completely different, as the illuminated interior is decorated with shining treasures, colorful stained glass windows, and historical religious paintings. Terrasse du Ferrand. One of the most popular places to spend time in the city is the Terrasse du Ferrand, which offers stunning views out over Old Quebec and the Saint Lawrence River. Perched atop a cliff, the long boardwalk wraps its way around Chateau Frontenac, the historic hotel that dominates the city's skyline. Built in 1879 under the direction of Lord du Ferrand, after whom it is named, the wooden plank walkway is dotted with quaint old gazebos, lampposts, and benches with historic cannons also on show. The area also has an appealing ambience, as street performers and artists often line in the terrace. Old Quebec. The historic heart of the city, Old Quebec, is home to an incredible array of attractions, with beautiful buildings and charming streets wherever you look. Presided over by Chateau Frontenac, it is made of both Upper Town and Lower Town, within the Old Port and Battlefields Park, lying to either side. Its walls contain several museums and monuments, such as Place Royale, the first site settled in the city. The historic area also houses countless century-old buildings and sought-out sites, including its citadel and cathedral. The highlight of many people's visits, Old Quebec has a lovely atmosphere, with innumerable shops and restaurants also being an offer.